Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game Night. I'm back after a week hiatus. I want to say hello to everybody. If you're watching this, of course, you're watching it live, but please like this video. After the conclusion, you can share this video. Um, please subscribe. The subscription box is, I think it's at the bottom of mine, but hit the subscribe button. And of course, you can always support me on Patreon. And just an FYI, there is a scavenger hunt on September the 3rd at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link to that scavenger hunt is in the description. So I'm still kind of waiting on some people to show up. So while I'm waiting, even though this is game night, and of course I'm getting a notification while I'm talking. That's always good. Always good. Because I'm getting a notification as soon as I open up. Um, like I said, there's some things I want to talk about before we get into the games. And if you're here, just kind of check in because on my restream, I never can see who's commenting. So I'm still learning this one. Um, so I'm just kind of looking to see if I can find comments. So far, nobody's on yet, but that's okay. Like I said, I hope to do this every Friday at 7:30. Max time, I think it's going to be like an hour, maybe a little bit over. Um, it'll probably be over tonight because I've got a lot of things that I want to get to. Okay, so apparently I didn't know last night when I did my live show that Margarine Green um, is being had testified, and I'm trying to get this right. So if I get it wrong, nobody's watching, so nobody will know. But the people in her jurisdiction, someone brought um, a plea or a law. I don't know what you exactly call it, but basically they're saying that her name should be removed from the ballot because she supported um, the January 6th insurrection. And why is my phone now ringing? Of course it is. So I'm going to put this thing on. I'm going to put this on silent so I don't get any more notifications. So she, I don't know. I saw some clips of it, um, but I was kind of confused because I'm like, she's. It was like in one question, she literally said, "Well, can you tell me what the Constitution says?" And then another point where, she called for a peaceful protest. She said, "Oh, well, that's in the First Amendment of the Constitution. I thought you didn't know the Constitution." Um, it was just I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it. I had completely forgotten about it being in court today. It totally slipped past my radar. Didn't know what was going on. Um, so that's it. I'm still trying to wait out this to see who else is coming on so we can play our first game. We're gonna do Three Lies and a Truth again. That was a lot of fun. People don't apparently know a lot about me, so hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about me. Um, I have been busy today, and while there's nobody here, so I mean, no one has checked in yet. Um, I did want to tell why it is that I took today off. I took the day off because um, I'm getting a house, and so I had to get all. I didn't realize how much paperwork you have to get. Like you have to get a lot of paperwork. I mean, lots. I've got tax returns, W-2s, retirement statements. Oh my gosh. Oh, so I hope to share some pictures next week of what you won't see the place because it's being built, but just the land. I took a picture of it today, but yeah, that's what I basically have been doing. I got up at 8 o'clock. I had a doctor's appointment. That didn't go so well. Um, my AC1 still is kind of high, but it's not as high as it used to be. So I guess I should be happy about that. Um, then I had to do a blood sample. Of course, that meant they went through my hand because they can never find anything in my arm. I don't know why. Uh, doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but they finally got that. Then I went out to get something for breakfast. That took an hour. Then I drove all the way back to pick up a sensor, and then just started gathering paperwork. And literally, that took me about like 4 hours to print off stuff because I don't have a printer here at the house. I don't have one. So when I print things, I have to go to the Office Depot. And of course, I drove way out to now what's called FedEx and just found out that location is closed. I'm like, gee, I wish they had, let the public know that that was closed before I drove all the way out there. But I drove all the way out there and I still had to go to the library, still had to pay 15 cents a page. And let me show you what it looks like. See all of this? You see all of this. This isn't even 20%. I still got more stuff to print out tomorrow. Look at all of this. I mean, just there's a lot to fill out. I wish somebody had told me that there was so much to fill out. And we got a guest on here, so looks like Theus has joined in. Okay, I'm still getting used to this restream.
Yeah, this is new to me. Do I have to have headphones on?
Nope, you do not have to have headphones on.
Okay. Don't mind me eating a snack. Just got home.
I was just telling the no people watching that I've been gone literally from 8 o'clock a.m. and I literally just got at home at 6. I'm like, okay, it's been a long, long, long day.
And you've been recording like every day.
Thank you.
Glad,
No, well, yeah,
glad
I
you're doing
did
that.
Monday, I did Thursday, and then I'm doing a podcast tomorrow. Oh gosh.
So that's 3 out of 5 working days.
Then plus I got Marlins, but I don't have to do anything really. I'm just there.
I'm just saying Monday through Friday. That's 3 days. You just named 3 days.
Yep. Monday, Thursday, Friday. Oh my gosh.
I'm here when I can, but I can't promise. I appreciate you for being so understanding.
What is it that you're eating?
Pecans.
I thought it was pecans.
I'll call them pecans. Some people say pecans. Some say pecan. Whatever.
Yes. So we're gonna play, well, the first game where I tell 3 lies and 1 truth. And I'll repeat this statement. Everybody in the audience can play along. And if you're out there lurking around, drop a comment in the comment section. That'd be appreciative. Um,
3 lies?
3 lies and 1 truth.
Hmm.
Okay. So first statement is, in general, I think that white sitcoms are better than black sitcoms. That's the first statement. Second statement, I love dogs. That's the second statement. Third statement is, I've always wanted to drive a truck. I like how big they are, but of course, they take a lot of gas, so you can't really drive it the way that I would want to.
Like a semi or Like a
A
full size truck.
semi, a regular one that people use in their everyday ones, just the truck. And then the fourth statement is I don't believe. Well, no, that's not. That's an actually true statement. So let me rephrase it. I was about to say something that was true. I'm trying to
Well,
think.
now I know this one's a lie. Thanks.
Yeah, I know you're gonna know. So I'm like, okay, so we'll do two lies and a truth. Okay, so which one of those statements that I made do you think is a lie? Or is the truth?
I think the one that's the truth. You think that generally white sitcoms are better than black.
I do.
I knew that one.
I really do.
I know.
Because the problem is, you can all know if I'm black. But with the black sitcoms, you have the cream of the crop. You got the top one. But then you got garbage. And it's like there's no in between. You either
Who
got
runs the studios?
what did you say?
Who runs the studios? How well funded are they? Who's the writing staff?
I know I was going to get to all those points. Most of those shows aren't written by black writers, so they can't really address the black experience, which frustrates me because I'm like, okay, might want to have some black writers in there, but I'm just saying in general, you have the cream of the crop, the Sanford and Sons, the Jeffersons type shows, and then you have the awful shows like Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Smart Guy, Homeboys. No, I did not think that Hanging with Mr. Cooper was funny at all.
Holly Robinson Pete.
That show was a Three's Company ripoff. You know,
All the shows are formulas.
that show literally lifted it. I'm like, only difference was Mark Curry is a stand-up comic. John Ritter was not. He was a teacher. John Ritter was a chef.
Those aren't the same things.
I know I'm saying the difference between the two shows, but basically it was the same premise. Guy lives with two women. Oh, and they then they added Raymond Simone for some work. Like, why did they do that?
I don't remember that.
You don't remember when they added Neil Carter and Raymond Simone?
Nope.
Oh, so you must have stopped watching it because you know it's awful.
I just stopped watching it because it didn't really appeal to me.
But you watched it before?
Because of Holly Robinson Pete.
So when she left, you stopped watching.
Most likely.
Oh my
Mark
God.
Curry is not my favorite kind of comedian.
Well, he's not funny, so they're.
Some people like him.
Ooh, name this person.
They're out there. He was kind of funny when he was playing as a cameo character on the Wayans Brothers.
Anyway, and then you have shows, like I said, you got the good shows that are just A caliber. Like, yes, this is it. But again, there's a whole lot of crap at the Sister, another show I couldn't stand.
Sister was great.
It was the same mistaken identity every week plot. Oh, Roger, go home. No, you
That's
go
the fun
home.
of twins.
They did the same plot every.
All your white shows that you like do the same plot over and over again.
No,
but you're not that mean and critical about them.
No, I don't think they do the same plot every single week.
What are the white shows you like?
Seinfeld.
That was a boring show. It was all right, but
what? Seinfeld
right.
is one of the funniest shows ever. I love Frasier.
All right. Huh?
I love Frasier.
That show was terrible.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Frasier was so much better than Cheers. So much better.
Nope, not at all. Cheers was way better.
Cheers, no, Frasier was better. They had that dry, sarcastic humor. Oh, it was golden.
I think it's safe to say that you might be the wisest person I know.
And I'm black. Listen to that racist statement, making racial statements.
How's that racist?
I'm the whitest
wrong with
black
being white?
person, you know.
Hmm?
There's nothing. what are we defining as white? Let me ask
Culture,
that.
culture, just culture.
Well, look,
Because
I'm
look at how
gonna
you
hear
came in.
you.
See, you're trying to turn this around on me, but you are the very one who started this with white sitcom, black sitcom.
I
So you
did.
created the color dynamic. I'm just playing along with it.
I did. But Sister was still a terrible show.
It wasn't a great show, but you
Um,
gotta. I look at it from the standpoint of how many TV shows do we get to have that are centered on us? Who is doing the budgeting for it? And who and what kind of writers do you have? When you look behind the scenes and you look at those things, they're only permitted by white studios with white writing staff and usually a white director. So it's representation, but then you look at, is it fair representation given all the things that are limiting the
yeah, but
accuracy? And
I
I
think
think that of those shows, Sister, half and half
no.
wasn't very good, but Sister, um, That's
Yep.
So Raven, Cosby
Now,
Show,
That's So Raven, I don't consider a black sitcom because, well, no, it's centered around a black family. Okay, I'll give
and
you
all
that.
her friends except one was white. I mean, was black.
Yeah, that okay, I'll give you that one. But that show was just that. That's another show did the same thing every week. Raven season.
It was a Disney show. Disney shows are very, very formulaic.
Yeah, Disney
But
shows they just substitute. Like, okay, we'll just take out this and put in this.
yeah,
Same show. It's like basically Hannah Montana.
Hannah
Basically, same
Montana was a
plot.
repeat of their normal flow. Yeah.
Yeah, they do the same thing all the time.
Wizards of Waverly Place or Palace or whatever it was. All of
Thea,
them, it's like the
yeah,
same show
Thea
over
was
and over.
just a big black actress that was supposed to be like Roseanne, but she was a single mother with Brandy, young Brandy in
Randy
that
show,
one.
Moesha?
No, Thea,
What?
not Moesha, which also was a terrible show.
That was a good show, and it had a healthy family dynamic to it. How could you not
Until the
like a
father
healthy family
realized
dynamic?
he slept with somebody and was Ray J's father. I'm like, come on.
I think you're far more critical of black sitcoms than you are of white sitcoms.
That was just like, y'all can't expect me to be this stupid.
I mean, you enjoy the white sitcoms that are just as silly, over the top, or base humor, like I Love Lucy. You may have liked Gidget. I don't know. Um, Dick Van Dyke Show. I mean, these are
Yeah,
all
but
formulaic, very
wait,
basic shows. But you're very critical when it's us. You're not so critical when it's them.
I'll tell you what. Well, no, I'm not. I don't think I am critical in this sense, and I'll explain what I mean. With the white sitcoms, you have of course the good, the middle, and then the horrible. Because there are some horrible white sitcoms.
I agree.
The good thing is there's a middle. There's a lot of shows that I like that were in the middle. I'm like, okay, it's not the greatest show that I've ever seen. But with
But
the black one,
consider,
it's either great or it's terrible. It's
but
like one or the other.
you're comparing a bucket that has 50 items in it to a bucket that has 10. And that's it's just
No, there were more than 10 black shows.
no, hear me out. I'm talking about scope. So there are
Oh,
more than 50 white shows. You know what I mean? I mean, to be white in America is normative. So that's just what it is. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just what our entertainment is. I mean, hell, there's 60% of the population, so it kind of gathers that that's, and at one point they were even higher than that. So yeah, most of our entertainment is geared towards them. Even our black entertainment is geared towards them. So yeah, you're gonna have much more range. You're gonna have white centered shows that are really good. And you're gonna have some flops, but we don't really remember the flops as much because we have so many to choose from. But when you're looking at black centered TV shows, Hispanic centered TV shows, Asian centered TV shows, much smaller pools to draw from. So you end up looking at things like Martin, but you forget Rock. You look at um, Cosby Show, but you
I didn't
forget.
forget Rock. That was one of my favorite shows.
I understand, but never mind. But that's not the point. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think that's the point you were making, but
No, but I'm just saying that you're not you're it's like you're not comparing apples to apples. You're comparing apples to oranges. And that's fine because that's what we have to deal with. Like we only have the shows that, we have. But your criticism as I'm listening is much more biting towards the oranges versus the apples. You have much more of a reference or positive viewpoint of the apples. I've not heard you say anything really nice about the oranges.
No, there are some black sitcoms I absolutely positively love. And you're never
But you
gonna
don't
talk
focus on bringing those to the fore.
because so many of them, in my opinion, was terrible.
I
Not
agree with you.
and that's because they didn't have black right. Like, I'll give you an example. Sanford and Son. Don't know if you like it, but I love it. I think it's one of the best comedies
It's a good show.
out there. I can tell that black people wrote at least those first 3 seasons.
Sanford and Fred Sanford had to fight. Well, Red
Yeah,
Fox
he did.
had to
He had to
fight
fight to
his
get it.
behind off to do that.
Yeah, Richard Pryor was a writer. Paul Mooney was a writer.
Right.
They
They
had.
didn't want that to be the case.
I agree with you. They did want it to be the case, but that was actually the case. I
Everybody
feel
can't fight a Herculean fight to just be seen. Like you're comparing a group of people, a group of a production thing that literally can be moderate or mediocre at best and still be successful to something that has to be exceptional just to be exceptional to be successful. It's not a fair comparison.
I think it is.
What?
I do. Well, let me tell you
So
why.
you're saying that it's okay to compare a
No,
C student to a
let me explain what I fully mean. Okay, everybody out here, my expectations for my own it's always gonna be higher.
wow, interesting.
That's just the way it is. That's how I was raised
Interesting.
up.
Yeah.
That's how I was brought up. You gotta
That's,
you gotta do twice as much to get half as much.
and you're
That's
saying
me.
that's okay.
I'm not saying it's okay.
You are saying that's okay.
I'm saying that's what the system is. That's
I'm
all I'm
saying
saying.
but you've decided that that's your measuring stick. So you've decided it's okay,
In a sense, I probably have.
which is interesting.
Because when I look at shows like I'll give you another example, Good Times. That should be in the A+ category. No doubt about it.
But
But
it is a
then
show that I'm sorry.
once James left, it was like, okay, these episodes without him, one, I can tell although black writers are gone. Another show that literally started out with a majority black writing cast, and then somehow along the way lost it.
But you
And
know why he left, right?
yes, because he got tired of Jimmy
JJ?
Walker all of
No,
the
that wasn't
things.
what it was. What it was he did get tired of the JJ character by Jerome Walker. But what happened was the 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 show was very successful. More successful than the production companies actually expected it to be. So they started bringing in their own writers. And when they started doing that, they wanted it to be much more buffoonery. They wanted to focus more on JJ than even they already were. And they wanted JJ to be even more over the top because that's where, their market studies or whatever were saying that's what the people want. And he refused, not JJ, but James. He refused, John Amos. And he said, I'm not going to be a part of what you're trying to turn this into. So they killed him off the show. So when we look at that, I agree with you that that is like when James was killed off the show, it went downhill
You
hard.
can't even name a good episode. You're like,
But the
what?
reason it did, it matters. It matters why it got bad. And the way you were explaining it, the way I was taking it, you're not factoring that part in. You're just saying, here was a good show that went bad. And I'm like, yes, it did, but why it went bad actually matters.
Yeah, I can see that point. I can see that point. That makes a lot of sense. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, okay. But that's just one example.
I
Um,
agree.
Rock was another show. I don't know if it had black writers or not.
I don't know, but Charles Dutton had a lot of creative influence on his show.
Yeah, he sure did because I could
He
tell whoever wrote that show did an exception. I don't know who it is,
he was
but they did.
trying he was trying to give us back a sense of what Good Times and the Jeffersons gave us. Much more Good Times, much more Good Times, showing that there was honor, there was complexity, there was faith, there was so many things wrapped up in being a hardworking, working class Black family or person in America and bringing that forward, but putting some humor in there as well. So it was a well written, well casted show. However, if you think back to that particular time, we didn't have a lot of Black shows. It was
No, we
during the
didn't.
period of time where we had what's that? New York Undercover,
Which I didn't like
Martin,
either. Yeah, Martin. Living
and
single.
Rock. That was like it.
When
So
living single on at the same time?
what was?
Wasn't living single on at the same time?
I don't believe so. If it was around the time that the studios were killing it because they were launching um Friends and all the other stuff. But Rock was pitted head to head. They were in the same time slot as Martin. So you have slapstick buffoonery. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I didn't enjoy Martin, but it wasn't my show. I rather watch Rock, but it was just funny. It was a show. Martin was a show you could just laugh. You didn't
Yeah,
think,
it
you didn't
wasn't like we're
feel.
gonna have a serious message.
Yeah,
We're
you
gonna
just,
talk about
yeah,
sex.
there wasn't much of a heavy message going on with Martin, right? But Rock, there was a theme to it. You know, you might cry and laugh in the exact
Same
same
show.
show. And people, I hate to say it this way, but it's what I'm starting to unfortunately feel. People as a whole are lazy and stupid. So we gravitate to what is messy or funny because messy or funny allows us to not think about the ugly crap we deal with. I'm sorry, the ugly things
Yeah,
we
that's
deal.
because life is hard out here in these streets.
It is, but to me, you know how I feel about that. But I get it, right? I understand it, even though I can't stand it, if that makes sense. But
Because
that's
if
what
you're
happened, though.
serious, yeah, if you're serious all the time, that can't be good.
No,
You
it's not. It's not good to be serious all the time. But here's my thing. When people tell me that they watch these things to escape, they watch these things to just have a moment where they don't have to be serious. I look at those people and I say, how often are you actually serious? So it's like, what are you actually escaping? You're not escaping anything. If you're doing something and then this is your way, then it's an escape. But like it's like a pressure release. But if that's just your mode of entertainment, you're not a you're not getting a break. That's just what you do because you don't do
You're
anything
taking a break
otherwise.
from Facebook and posting about you got your nails done. But there are some of us, like this one here, I'm just like, okay, this is too much. This is too much. For 30 minutes, just give me 30 minutes. That's all I need. Well, an hour, because Maury's an hour. But I'm just saying,
No, I get it. You like messy TV. We've talked about it. You like messy
yeah,
TV. But at the
I'm
same
a
time,
walking
though,
contradiction.
yeah, you are a walking contradiction, but aren't we all? So you like messy TV, which is interesting. We've had those discussions. But look at the work you do. You see what I'm saying? Like you work on rallies, you work on special interests, you work on getting your voice out there. So even though you and I don't always agree, I always big up everything you're doing because you you are trying to do the thing you say you believe in. So your entertainment, while I don't share that entertainment choice, it's irrelevant because it literally is you being entertained. You're doing
Exactly. It's like
other
I'm being
things. That ain't most people.
Well, I'm not like most people. I never have
I
been.
agree, but we're talking about most people.
I think I have unusual taste, and I don't
Oh,
try to
I agree.
do it. I just do it. Like everybody knows me. I prefer stage plays over movies. If
Uh-huh.
you said, "Hey Tracy, you want to go see?" I'll give you an example. I went to see four movies, all right behind each other. Black Panther. There was a little scene. You remember that bad fight scene they had when they were both the Black Panthers, and we was like, "Who did
Oh,
that etch and
that was
sketch stuff?"
horrible. The
Yeah,
CGI fight,
yeah.
yeah,
Look like I'm like, what? Where y'all get that? That part I fell asleep at. But the most part, I was awoke. I was like, okay, I'm engaged because I guess I'm like, ooh, I'm seeing all these black people on screen. Look at this. Look, I can see them. Mary Poppins Returns. I fell asleep. Cats. I fell asleep. There are so many movies that I've literally gone to and I have fallen asleep. I
I
never
agree.
fall asleep at a play. I don't care how bad the play is. I don't care if they start fighting. I don't care if a fight. I will see that play all the way through.
And so one thing
All
I
the way
say,
through.
one, I don't really like movies either. And I didn't enjoy Black Panther. I mean, it's like I watched it, so I enjoyed the movie the first time through just for it being entertaining, but I didn't like the movie. Um,
Hold on. Even I like Black Panther.
yeah, but we don't approach things the same way. Remember, I'm the guy who's always serious and very rarely not. So, but yeah, it was cool for what it was. But stage plays, I actually like most stage plays. And I think the reason that I can't speak for you. So the reason I enjoy stage plays, even the ones who aren't professionally done. Now, granted, I don't like the Tyler Perry stage plays.
The gospel plays.
I don't like that. That's garbage to me. But people do like them. But I think the thing is about a stage play is you're looking at real people in
Yeah,
front of
real
you.
people. They're like right in front of you.
Yeah. So you even if the story isn't that good, even if they blow a line or whatever, there's this level of stick to itness that they have.
You don't
And
get
you're
to
seeing
stop
a
and start
person.
over. Like in a
Yeah.
movie. Like you could tell, like when they do the editing. You mess up if you're an actor in a movie and you mess up, they just stop the camera and you do it over. Try that on stage. That does not work on stage. You're literally
Right.
on a tightrope. You're
Yeah.
walking a tightrope.
No, I agree. So it's
Like,
like this a difference between um the kind of respect you have for a surgeon versus the respect you have for a podiatrist. They're very important jobs. They're both
oh,
very important.
you got another one done creeped itself in.
All right. Hey, bro. Bye, bro.
No,
Hey,
I'm trying
bro.
to get used to this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get used to this, and I can't. I always want to click
Oh, welcome, Marlon. Bye.
it.
Tracy was just explaining to me how she prefers Filipino TV shows over Arabian TV shows.
No, the statement that I made was in general, white television sitcoms are better than black ones. In general.
Which is
Yeah, because there's a lot more of them.
a lot more of them, a lot more funding, all kinds of stuff goes into that.
Yeah.
How
I
many
don't
little
look
white
at
kids
the
get to
watch.
go
I
through?
just watch the show.
How many
That's
little
all I'm
white kids
doing.
get to go through acting school and stuff like that from the age of 8 compared to little black girls and boys who go through it from age 8? They're vastly outnumbered. So, yeah,
Well, you always have sister, sister, which apparently you love.
I didn't love it. Actually, it's my wife really likes that show. But
Well,
I
wow.
liked it. I liked it enough.
I just that one in Moesha. I'm like, oh
I
gosh,
liked
take this
Moesha.
M to the oh shut up.
Well, one, I like Moesha as a singer because she was coming
You
up
mean
during
Brandy?
she was, huh?
You mean Brandy, her real
Brandy,
life
yeah.
name.
Because she came up during my time. Of course, I liked Monica more than Brandy, but whatever.
Yeah, Monica
Um,
has a better voice.
she had a better voice, but Brandy had a much stronger team behind her. But as far as Moesha is concerned, it was a positive black family, and it showed. levels and intricacies that often are not represented for us, and I respect that.
Until the father cheated and then Ray J at it. I'm like, why they
Do
had to
people
put
not
him in
cheat?
it?
Do people not cheat?
They do, but at Ray J, couldn't they have cast somebody else? That's what I'm mad about. It's just Ray J. Anybody else?
I'm
Find
sorry, I
somebody.
can't always follow when you go off onto a different reason for disliking something.
For some reason, I don't know why he annoys me to the uttermost. I can't explain why, but I see his face. I'm like, oh, good. Yeah.
So it's not the topic that you have an issue with.
It's not the topic because, like they said, people cheat all the time. I'm just like, why did she have to? Why Ray J? That's all I'm saying. Just why Ray J?
That's
That's
what
all I'm asking.
The question I had for you though was, why is it that you are so much quicker to criticize heavily us versus
Don't
criticism?
know.
You don't share. I have yet to hear you go in on any of white television. I just don't hear you do it.
No, that's a good question.
You only go in on us, which is cool. I mean, we got a lot of garbage
I
shows.
know I'm late and
But
everything, but this is game night. I'm so confused.
Yeah,
You
What?
we
played the
just
game,
played
brother.
3 games in a while, but we can already play our next game. So
If you came in on time,
yeah,
Hey,
Mister, I got to go to work.
that's all I got.
hey,
Hey,
I didn't. Hey, I was talking
hey.
about what I did today. I did something important. I filled out all of this. All of this.
What is that? Is that for the house?
Oh,
Yes, all of this. And that's
All
not even
right. What?
Tracy, you ain't seen nothing until you close it. Until
I'm
you
like,
do the closing, and they keep putting paper after paper after paper after paper, and initial here and sign here, and give me your firstborn, your secondborn.
Hey, how many days do they give you to back out?
30.
Use them. It's boring. I get it. Read your papers.
Yeah.
Read them. And I know they're not giving you any utilities, which is really jacked up. But
You mean
when,
appliances?
yeah, appliances. I'm
Because
sorry.
I'll be responsible for the utilities.
Yeah, but when you first of all, hope you had your inspection, like you said, like we were talking about before.
It hasn't been built yet. It's being built.
Oh, okay. So it's a period of time before that happens.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So we'll talk about it again when we get closer. Never mind. Congrats, though. I'm really happy for you. I am super stoked.
I'm like, it ain't even been, they ain't even broke ground yet. Well, no, they
I'm
did
kind of
break.
scared a little bit here. How fast can they build the house?
Well, they've been building them like under 3 months. Because,
You got-
Habitat houses, they build in a week.
You got 30 days to back out.
No, it's from is it 30 days from move in or 30 days from signing?
30 days from signing.
So you have no house to inspect.
Yeah.
You're getting it on the ground floor. Like you're probably like phase 1 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm in phase 1.
Okay. Well, I mean, just understand that you're probably getting the best pricing because you're phase 1. And when your house is built, I still recommend you get an inspection done, even though there's not much you could probably do. Well, there's probably going to be a builder warranty that extends. So make sure you're aware if that's the case. And make sure you go through your paperwork and make sure you have an inspection. Your inspection, like you pay for it. It's like 300 and something bucks. I promise you it's worth the money to
Do something real quick as soon as we're through with this show, though. Find out who the builder is.
I know who the builder is.
Did you Google them yet?
Did you Google them?
Yes.
BBB, which they lie in a way, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Reviews and all that other, and they're good.
Yeah, Southeastern Neighborhood Development.
Well, yeah, I don't know Indiana like that. So.
I know, you don't know, but I did that.
You're looking for complaints, and I mean, not just every, you know how you do it, but you just want to see if it's like a constant pattern.
Yeah, if there's a pattern of the same thing over and over again.
And if I don't know if they did this, because maybe after the fact, well, you're still signing. Did you have the option? What is this a town hall? Is this a townhome or a standalone?
Standalone.
All right. Do you have the option of upgrading to hardy plank for your siding? And if you do, find out how much of a difference it is and if that can be included in your loan. Because what I have found is a lot of times they will sell you a home that looks nice. Every home looks nice when it's new, but they'll put like basic siding on it. And now you're constantly having to have it pressure washed. You're constantly having to treat it. And it's really hard to maintain a home. I'm guilty. I got a lot of deferred maintenance I'm dealing with now. So, but I have hardy plank, so I don't have to do like some of my neighbors and constantly have my house clean. So that's just something extra. Just
I power wash mine, and I know, and this is the last thing I got to say because this ain't what we came on here to do.
No, but that's okay. Do we ever stay on subject? No.
Never. But I know I'm gonna have to go to a gas power washer. These electric ones it's not working.
What?
It's not. It's just not powerful enough.
I have never heard of a gas powered washer.
Yes.
Mine just plugged in.
Everything that you see that's electric, started off as gas.
That's all right. I don't want gas. Only thing in my house that's gas is my heat.
Everything. I'm electric through and through.
Do you know does Marjorie Green know what the Constitution is? Did you see the testimony? Because I talked
but I heard that she just said I don't know a lot.
That was the most wasteful. If you're ever bored and or have insomnia, watch that.
Watch any congressional hearing. They're all
I
the same.
I don't remember. It's amazing though when she goes into a big speech about something, she remembers everything. Like there was a part where she don't remember making that video, even though she sees herself doing a video. I don't remember making that video, but if you say I made a video, I made a video. Okay, so you remember saying this. No, you cut off. There's 3 times where you can see it snip together because I remember saying blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, so you don't remember the video, but you remember what you said in the video.
Yeah, you remember how it was edited though, don't you? Huh? Oh, okay. But I mean, hey, we got, her boss, McCarthy, right now talking about, yeah, I ain't say that. But we have a statement that says you said it. I ain't say that. We have no, but I'm saying like they walked him through it though. They were like, "Did you say this?" He said no. He said, "Oh, okay. Well, look, we have a transcript that said you said it. I didn't say that. Okay. Well, I have the audio that says you didn't that you said it. No comment.
Just say you said it.
It don't matter. Next week or 2 weeks or whatever. That's going to be my favorite time. I'm just going to enjoy myself and watch Mike Lindell come up with some of the craziest things after he comes off.
What happens in 2 weeks?
Who?
There's always a new shiny object.
Yeah. What happens in 2 weeks?
Mike Lindell.
What is he going to do?
What is he doing?
He's going to court.
Oh, please.
Yeah. He been trying to get that thing kicked out for the longest time. They keep saying, no.
I know none of this stuff matter. Like you said before, Marlon, no, none of this stuff matter.
Oh, it don't.
Trump ain't even mad at McCarthy.
What did I say about 2022? All of this is pure entertainment for me now. All of this is just entertainment. I just want to see Mike Lindell get up there and says that he's going to sue all machines. So watch out for your toaster, your blenders, your refrigerators is under attack, America.
Which one was it? Wasn't it Lauren Boebert? It might not have been Boebert. It was one of the dumb crew. It was, I want to say it was Palin, but I don't think it was. No, it was Palin. They said the microwave was spying on you. But it was one of them crazy ones, one of them crazy Karens that said that the microwaves are spying on you. Oh, it was the press secretary for Trump. What's her name?
Barbie. Kellyanne.
Kellyanne.
The microwave is spying on you?
Yep, because it's foreign technology and it's spying on you. You're like, y'all just say anything because your people stupid.
So You pick the one object that's spying on you cooking.
I mean, you got to think about it. This was during the time that you were getting smart refrigerators, and they're already afraid of everything. And they just say, they literally just say stuff.
And whatever sticks, sticks.
And we're losing to them.
That's what makes us dumb.
Because we're fighting each other over dumb things.
Yep. Now that I do agree with.
We got the Republicans out here saying, like I heard today on, because I listen to public radio, and they were talking about the Florida ban about the math books.
Yeah.
The things that they were banning for. See, I was listening to see like, well, what are they twisting to say a CRT? It was stuff like the word empathy. It was stuff like understanding and social awareness. That's what they're banning. They're not banning because you said black or slavery or no. It was anything that even remotely said be empathetic, kind, or considerate. And these are Christian conservatives who are against the fruits of the spirit. I'm just like,
wait a minute. So we're gonna get
Tracy. I said something wrong on your show
yesterday,
so I want to correct myself. So what DeSantis did, two things I want to correct. Well, I'm gonna correct myself on one, and then another one I just found out
be
about.
Be careful, he's gonna be president. He gonna get you.
This is not a good look. And your boy. Wait till I get to old boy in Texas. $4.9 billion you lost in 6 days.
Oh yeah, Mr. Abbott.
Idiot. No, what happened was that they took community whatever from Disney. In other words, Disney technically was their own community. Yeah. They took care of everything in the surrounding area. So if you go to Disney World, you drive down every road, there ain't a freaking pothole. Everything's clean, blah, blah, blah. It was their own entity. And that's what two things DeSantis did. One, they took that away. Two, they made sure that the date that it was going to be taken away from them is after the next election.
Yeah, because they don't want the impact to happen.
Yeah. So what happened was I was correct on the money because remember, Disney World and the surrounding areas was getting the tax breaks. Took it away from them. Somebody's going to have to pay for it.
Billion.
The surrounding areas. $3,500, and that's a guesstimate per household around that area. Way to go, DeSantis.
But back onto game night. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask each of you to name your, because I'm thinking about making this topic tomorrow for top 5. But don't name your top. Oh, I'm the one that does the top 5, so I won't name mine. Okay, so name your favorite board game and your least favorite board game.
Oh, bet. Got this.
Marlon, you can go first. You don't play board games?
Not really, no. I haven't played board games in years. Card games? Sure. Board games?
I ain't played them in years either, but I know them.
I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, my least favorite is always going to be Monopoly. I would never, I hated this long, drawn out, dry.
Yes, get him. Get him.
Capitalism board game that seems like it goes on forever.
Everybody starts out with the exact same amount. It's what you make of it.
Nah, I'm good.
I had to take a breather.
I'm good.
Monopoly ain't got nothing to do with socialism, though. I got to correct that, Tracy.
Everybody starts off with the same amount of
capitalism.
No, it's hyper capitalism.
It's a capitalistic.
It's socialism because
boring, drawn out, hours upon hours.
That's not socialism.
So what is it?
The difference between capitalism and socialism is who owns the means of production.
Yeah, but everybody has equal chance to own equal property.
Yes, but the game is how do we charge rents and develop faster so that we can make sure we're extracting enough wealth from other players in time to become the top one and bankrupt everyone else. That's capitalism.
But they start off with this.
But that's not socialism. That's just the starting point.
You're
Now, I do
doing
love the
you're,
first of all,
you're,
Monopoly is my favorite board game. It is. Um, it's the dark side of me that gets to come out and play. But
I have to admit it.
Well, that's a real shocker right there. I'm shocked.
I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, it's my favorite board game. But
Please.
yeah, Monopoly is also is one of my favorite analogies for racial and class economics in America, but I won't bore you with that today.
Yeah, because
Just like the game won't bore you.
I love that game.
I thought you were really going to say Hungry Hungry Hippo. I really saw. Okay,
That's definitely on my list of worst ones. That one and Trouble.
All this stuff, I'm going by memory. I'm sorry. I
just remember what you played. You didn't play Candyland as a child.
as a broke black child in the hood, no. That's why That's why I barely played board games. I couldn't afford them.
That's a fair statement. I get you.
Yeah, we had
that's why
that was definitely considered middle class black kids.
You could always find you a deck of cards for $1. You could always find you a deck of cards for $1. You could always find you some Uno cards for $5. We ain't got $30 or $20 for board games.
It's not a board game, but I just never understood Uno. I'm like, okay, you supposed to get the colors and then do
what?
You
understand Uno?
How do you not understand Uno?
How you don't understand Uno?
It's color coded.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like
cards colors and numbers.
It doesn't make sense to me. I still could, if I sat down and played. Don't put me in an Uno tournament because
Tracy, can you play spades?
I don't even know what spades is.
Okay, all right. So moving along.
And literally, I'm more mad at you, Thea, for asking the question. If she ain't playing Uno, she ain't playing spades.
Well, she said she don't even know what it is, dog.
I have no idea what it is. And people get all mad when they play so much stuff.
Do you see a shocked look on my face at all?
But it informs so much of what she and I have talked about this episode.
Spades, poker, blackjack, tuck, pity pat.
See, now I did not play Tonk, even though I learned how to play it, but I don't remember how to play it.
All I know is Go Fish.
Bid Whist, I learned how to play that because, I got Southern family.
Hey, you know what? I never played Bid Whist with cards. I always have it on my phone and I was playing it on that way.
No, I remember I learned how to play it, but I wasn't good at it because the Trump suit changes, if my understanding is correct.
Well, that's why I like the app.
So I remember watching my uncles and them go in.
Why do people get so mad when they play spades?
It's competition.
It's competition, and I don't play spades for that reason, though.
It's that deep. When you are a young black person, I'm gonna go deep into stereotype land.
Yeah,
as a black person, you have until age 15 to learn how to play spades. By age 25, you should be a champion. That's your best you ever gonna be. So you only have from age 8 to age 15 to learn how to play spades. If you miss that window, you're gonna get picked on.
Nobody picked on me.
I don't play spades.
But you ain't really mixed. I'm just gathering from some of the things you share with us. You ain't really mixed with us like that.
Not when I was a kid, no.
I ain't think so.
No.
So
as an adult, yes.
But as a kid, you ain't really kicking with us.
No,
like that.
Most of my friends were white when I was a child.
I can tell. So that's where the difference is, because they don't typically play spades either. They have other occupational.
But it's just cards in general. Blackjack. I think 21's the goal.
Poker. You can't sit down with some white folk and play some poker if you don't know how to play poker. They will run your butt right up off the table.
I don't know how to play that either. It's just cards. I'm just like, oh no. I play chess. That I can play.
Poker, blackjack, Pacino.
No,
Oregon
Yeah.
checkers is
Trail.
black.
Hmm?
I say
Oregon
checkers is
Trail.
black, but it ain't really. It's not.
Oregon Trail, the greatest video game of all time.
Fun game, greatest game. I can't give you that because anything that was on the Apple IIe
Oh, it was great.
ain't the greatest game.
It was better than Pac-Man, Donkey
I agree.
Kong.
I
It
agree.
was. I'm like, and you learn stuff along the way, and you got to
I agree.
trade rations, and you got to sit there and think, not just mindless. Let's do nothing.
No, I agree with you on that, Tracy, because as I grew up, I don't know how to put it. I guess I straddled the fence, right? Because I was considered too white by a lot of black people, and definitely more black than most white than all the white people. But yeah, I enjoyed Oregon Trail because you had to strategize, and there was
Yeah,
also
sit
luck
there and
that was
think.
tied
Like,
Oh God, I
into it.
love Oregon Trail. That was so much fun.
That
that
I
was a
was
don't
a
even
fun
know
game.
why.
That was a fun game. Mainly because you were trying to figure out who's going to get bit by the rattlesnake. Let's just be real. Let's be real. That's what you was waiting
You
on.
know what? I'll meet you halfway, Theas. Yeah, you wanted to see who's gonna die and how.
basically because you got to keep enough rations. You don't want to sell everything, so you got to
You
figure out.
got dysentery.
This is just like what was the books that used to come out that always had like 14, 15, 20, 30
Pick
different
your own
endings
adventure
depending on what
book.
page you turn to.
Pick your
Oh
own
yeah,
adventure.
that and Mad Libs. I enjoyed Mad Libs too.
Oh, Mad Lib, we always play.
Yo, you remember the book where I think this is what you were just talking about, Tracy, because you're choosing your own adventure. So it's like go to
Yeah.
page 8,
Yeah,
go to
Yeah, if you
page.
do this, go to 8. If you want to do this, go back, go to
Yeah,
15.
yeah, those were cool.
there's a lot of
Those were
those
cool.
books. Dungeons and Dragons.
Never got into
Um,
that.
I liked it, but that was my introduction to. There are just some people who have skills in video games than other people.
Yeah.
Well, Dungeons and Dragons is a role playing game, and like so the super nerds, right? Because like I was a nerd, but then there's the super nerds. So the super nerds played Dungeons and Dragons. I played what was the game because I had to be too cool for Dungeons and Dragons. It's just like that's like nerd logic, right? So I played a game called BattleTech. BattleTech. That game was dope.
Ooh, ooh, ooh! I do have a board game that I like. Can't figure out why, but I did. Um, you suck my Battleship.
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 That
They
wasn't
made
quite a
it.
board game, but I'm with you.
Love that
It
game.
was a board
Which
game.
would you call that?
It came
I
in
don't
a
know.
box, and there was a board to it. What are you telling
We
me? It's
didn't
not a
share a board. You had your thing and they had their thing.
On a
yeah,
board.
just like Plinko or
Yeah,
Connect
folded
4.
up. Love Connect 4.
Oh, I love Connect 4.
I
That was
hated
fun.
the commercials. Connect 4. And then they make all those puns on 4. I'm like, shut up.
I don't remember that.
The only problem you're gonna have with Connect 4 is there is an age limit to it because everybody knows not to do this, 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 and this. So you'll just constantly be blocking each other. But younger age, oh, it's so much fun then.
Oh, Connect
Because
4
you
was
done
fun.
had
I
Connect 4
enjoyed it.
like 4 times in the game and nobody can count. So
And I don't know if this is racially insensitive or if it's actually culturally appropriate, but the game Chinese Checkers, I loved that game.
Ooh, ooh, you walking some thread lines on that one.
Hmm?
You
No, I'm
isn't
walking
saying
that
I
some
don't
you
long
know
know
what?
because
lines.
Isn't that
it
not
might
the
have
name
been
of it
their
though?
game.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah, I think that's their. That, and
Like Mahjong is their
I'm pretty
game,
sure if it
right?
isn't,
So
somebody gonna tell us. But I think that's the name of it, Chinese checkers.
no, the game was called Chinese Checkers. You had little beads, right?
Mm.
And you hopped and you know. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if it's culturally insensitive in that, because in America, we name stuff just to be jerks.
Yep,
Yeah,
sure
But at the
do.
same time, there are games that are someone else's game.
Oh, we got some comments. Okay.
Not necessarily. It's their version of the game. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Because like I said, I just don't know which way it goes because with America, you just
Oh,
don't know.
America would take anything and rename it.
Oh yeah, they will be like, oh, we thought of it. No, we didn't.
Here we are in the year our Lord 2022, and we still have the Atlanta Braves
And the Kansas City Chiefs.
and the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah,
But why did Washington name themselves the Commanders?
because
I'm
they're
like,
stupid.
I'm
But
like,
they
y'all
should
picked
just
the
stayed the
dumbest
Washington
name.
football team. I think they should have just stayed with that.
I actually like that the Washington football team.
I thought that was
like,
dope,
cool.
right?
They was that. But
I
no,
really thought so.
they done went to the Commanders. Like, what is this?
And you know what's so stupid about that team is you can change the name all you want to. You rightfully got in trouble for it. I'm not taking that away. That's a disgusting name to be named that for all this time. But dude, you still have the same ownership. You're still crap. It's like nothing really changed other than you put one layer of coat of paint on the outside of a shack.
But I think it is important. I think it's important. I think it's important in the same way, well, actually in a greater way than when you rename a school or a government building away from a Confederate person, right? Yeah. Because Washington, former name, was deep. It's like literally being called the N-word. Every time you hear that name, it's like being called one of the names that they called us. So that's deeply insulting. So yeah, take the name off. I actually think that's a good thing. I think the NFL is garbage. So I want the NFL to just, but it's not going to.
No.
So it still makes too much money.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what you think of our people. Because I know there's other people who watch the NFL and I don't care about them as far as this particular part of the conversation. I'm talking about us. You lack the self-awareness and self-respect to be offended when you need to be offended. So let it go. But at least they changed their name. And I think that was because it didn't have to do it.
No, because Snyder said, according to him, that they were never going to do it. Well, gee, guess what happened?
Snyder is
but you still have the Kansas City Chiefs. You still have the Atlanta Braves. You still have what's that other team? I can't think of the other team.
But like the Braves, I think the Braves are trying to hold on to it. One, because white Eurocentric culture here in America is like, I don't care if you're offended. I like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. But the other thing they're trying to hide behind is to be a brave in the Native American sense is to be a young warrior. So they're like, well, we're showing respect. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
The only thing they can literally do to help their call, because they're not changing the name, is to change the mascot look.
Yeah, the mascot. I'm nice. Like, y'all, come on.
But the name itself, they're not going to change it. It'll be just like
thing that they do, and get rid of the.
And that's not going to stop.
It's not because
I knew I was thinking of.
I'm sorry, Florida Seminoles.
Yeah, I knew I was thinking of the Florida Seminoles. That's what I was thinking of.
But see, the Seminoles, in a way, it's probably not offensive.
No, it's not. People,
because you're at least
that tomahawk chop thing.
That's offensive.
That's offensive.
You might get away with it because Florida Seminoles is honoring. It can be construed as honoring the Seminole Nation that was in Florida before America decided to, try to kill everybody. So there's a way of saying that it's actually honorable. But when you're drawing a caricature of someone.
Yeah, because the Florida Seminoles, they don't have like somebody in a red.
They do.
The Cleveland Indians. That's the team.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Oh, they changed it. They're the Guardians.
I think they changed their name to the Guardians.
They did?
Yeah, they're the Cleveland Guardians now.
Another dumb name. Okay.
But the Commanders, I'm like, come on.
It is, but it isn't, because they have you have to cross a bridge to get to that stadium, and they have two statues on each side of the bridge that are Guardians. So even for the longest time before that, they kept saying, why do you not just name it the Guardians? And so then when they did a name change, they changed it to the Guardians.
But why did Washington choose the Commanders?
Because it has to be something militaristic or government related.
They could have called themselves the
because you're
senator.
Washington.
They could have called themselves the
Well,
president.
technically, you're not in Washington.
Oh, they
You're
can't
in
do that.
whatever.
Yeah, because they're not. That's right. They are. They're in
Say what?
someplace Maryland.
They're not in Washington. They're
But
in.
they're in the what's it called? The
DMV.
DMV. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm like the commanders. What we doing? GI Joe.
When I think of commanders, I think it's like, so we just chose a Jeep product. That's what we're gonna do. This is like,
I didn't care no more. You still got a trashy owner. You still got
he's
trashy
trash.
management on top. I don't care.
you know what I like? You just said what you just brought up about GI Joe, like
Yeah.
Cobra Commander.
Mm.
Wouldn't it be so dope if their charge became Cobra? La, 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 la.
Oh, this is good.
That version of G.I. Joe died so fast it wasn't funny.
Oh yeah,
What?
this is
I
a
loved it,
man.
man.
I love G.I. Joe. I even love when
Serpentor,
they
man.
had
Come on.
when they had the Serpentor. I love it all the way. After Serpentor, and they found out that Serpentor was sent to Earth, and then there's a whole bunch of bug people.
You know what be cool though?
Yeah, you talking about the G.I. Joe movie. I feel you. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I love G.I. Joe from the beginning.
If the commanders, like on their helmets, they had like that thing that Cobra had, you know.
Oh yeah, if you had Cobra
helmet on that
Commander's
stuff,
mask.
Yeah, just go right over it.
But they lose every game.
And by the way,
yeah,
they're gonna. By the way, you
no
can literally give them the little pew pew guns, and they'll still lose.
They might win more games if they get it.
No, they're gonna lose.
Oh,
by the way, Theus, just
you can turn off all the lights in the stadium and give everybody the little ray guns, and we would just see them shooting red and blue lasers across the stadium.
And speaking of G.I. Joe, do you kind of think that's actually our first introduction to politics?
No.
I'll tell you why.
It was an awesome show.
It wasn't to that crappy movie.
No, that movie was good. It was after what came after it.
The cartoon one that had it's a long story.
The first cartoon one or the second cartoon?
The second one was when it got bad. Because the first one is when you met Hunter and you met Falcon and you met Jinx, right?
Oh yeah, what was the name of it?
That's when they created Serpentor.
Can we agree on that? The live action movie was terrible.
Oh, yeah, both of them.
I don't know. I've never watched them. I wasn't planning on it either.
Don't do it.
When you literally says that The Rock is playing Roadblock and he's the lead in the movie, and I went, Roadblock was not even a lead. Roadblock wasn't even in half of the G.I. Joe cartoons. You're gonna make him the lead in a book. Y'all have fun.
You only can have certain leads, right? It has to be Duke, Scarlet, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes. Those are your choices. Those are your choices. Oh, Cobra Commander Cobra Commander. Because I was gonna say Destro, but you can't make him a lead.
Nope.
But you could make a side story for the guys.
You can't have Destro without the Baroness, though.
Yeah, but she herself wouldn't be a star.
Yeah, she's like a minor character. You give her
kind of, sort of, because they had a G.I. Joe Renegade. They rebooted G.I. Joe. They rebooted G.I. Joe several times. After Renegade, it was the rest of it is like really.
Did y'all
really
watch
bad.
Snake Eyes? I was disappointed, but it would have been fine if they didn't tie it to G.I. Joe.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but Marlon, I'm gonna disagree with yours. My first introduction to politics, I'm gonna go way back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. My first introduction to politics was Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a bill. That was my first introduction.
Well, yeah.
But that's
what I was saying about politics, social politics. Let me change what I'm saying then. Social politics. You notice that G.I. Joe, Cobra, they all had their laser guns. Still ain't got those things in this 2022, but we talk about that later. They're little laser
gun.
Who got laser guns?
Military has lasers.
I have never seen a laser.
You ain't heard about the ships that shoot lasers and stuff?
The ships, not guns.
We got lasers.
Anyway, they had the laser guns, which is what I was saying to begin with. The laser guns they were shooting. Did you notice that G.I. Joe's color was red?
Right.
Cobra Commander's color was blue.
Right.
Right.
So off the bat, they was trying to explain to you red, Republican, proud American, and blah, blah, blah. Blue, Democrat, bad guys.
Because at that time, when we had G.I. Joe back then, the 80s and the early 90s,
greatest decade ever.
At that time, it was purely red army, blue army, like America versus Russia type thing. But it was just one big, like everything back then was trying to get you to be deep into patriotism. Like they didn't care about what party you were in. They wanted you to be gung-ho American, leatherneck, gung-ho, roadblock. At Fridge took you to the football league. Everything was like a big America First commercial.
And who was the greatest G.I. Joe of all time?
Snake Eyes.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Snake Eyes.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Snake Eyes was the spark of G.I. Joe.
Sergeant Slaughter would kick Snake Eyes' butt.
No, he wouldn't.
The dude took on the whole G.I. Joe and won.
That's because he was a drill sergeant, but he could never have beaten Snake Eyes. Couldn't do it.
Who beats what was that guy's name?
Storm Shadow.
Nemesis.
Snake Eyes' enemy was Storm Shadow.
What was the Pinter's bodyguard?
Crimson Guard.
No, the one big dude.
Globulus.
No, that was his boss. That was Serpentor.
No, Globulus was the big muscular henchman for Serpentor.
It was Nemesis.
There was a Nemesis something guard or something like that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, nobody could beat him except Sergeant Slaughter.
That's why I said Sergeant Slaughter's the best.
Because America had to win.
We always do. But
I love Command far more than
this was supposed to be game night, and I don't know what happened. We got all off subject, but that's okay.
We're on here now.
We're gonna reassume it next week. So while you're here, because we went way past the time I thought we were gonna go.
What about the other game?
Next week, Transformers.
Man, Romulus Prime sucked.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Optimus Prime sucked.
Prime was
either you're Optimus Prime and we're done. Optimus period point. We don't need somebody new. Optimus Prime.
That's it. That's all you have to have. Move on. First of all, he was a semi-truck. Hello.
Well, Rodimus Prime was some dinky.
Rodimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. Optimus.
Yeah, no, we're saying Optimus Prime was the leader of the Autobots. But when he died, he handed the Allspark off to Rodimus Prime.
Well, nobody cares about that. I'm just talking about Optimus.
What are you talking about? That's the most moving scene in cartoon history.
I know. That's one I actually cried. I was like,
made a TV show out of it. It didn't do
cartoon. Why crying? So
one more thing. I promise one more thing, and then I'll be done with it. This is what I wanted to say to Thea's about G.I. Joe. This is why I said the movie really truly did suck. Because the movie actually made it where Cobra Commander actually became a Cobra.
Well, yeah,
when that show ended and it came back, they somehow found a way to make Cobra Commander, to make the Cobra back into Cobra Commander, but they didn't get rid of his face. So he had a snake face. This is the stupidest concept for a cartoon.
They could only do what they could do, sir.
It didn't work.
He took on human form again.
Yeah,
and they needed him back to fight Serpentor because Serpentor was kicking everybody's behind.
I promise next week, everybody, we're going to play at least 4 games next week. I promise we're going to play 4 games next week. I promise.
Are we invited?
Are we invited onto the show?
My Patreon is always invited.
You didn't say we are
ladies and
invited.
gentlemen, you're gonna get about 2.5.
I'll give you 1 1/3.
That's 4 games this week. And instead of me doing the 3 lies and 1 truth, I want, if you guys are available, for you guys to do the 3 lies and the truth, and I try to guess.
Oh, so it's the same game.
Same game, but except for this time, I'm not sitting here like, oh, this one. But no, that's the truth. So I can't say that one and then jump. So be
Okay, I get what you're saying.
see?
I love Cracker Barrel.
The game is next week, not today.
The best breakfast food is grits.
3 lies and a truth will be reversed. I will be trying to guess what statements they say. And if they make it that obvious, I'm obviously going to know that's a lie. But really be thinking about this.
Reverse racism is real.
We're going to play charades also. We're going to play charades. Charades, that's one Anna suggested, so I said I do it. I was supposed to do it this show, but I didn't. But next week,
rabbit.
And then we'll think of 2 more. So Marlon,
it's a rabbit.
Tell us where we can find you.
Huh?
You realize when you play charades, you don't talk, right? You just gesture.
You can find me in the cotton patch.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail.
Yeah.
Hippity hoppity is on his way.
No, you guys will do the 3 lies and 1 truth, and I'll do the charade. And I'll think of 2 more games next week. But I won't know.
Bunny foo-foo.
Nancy
Pelosi should be field mice and bopping them on the head.
Marlon, tell us where we can find you before I fly to Charlotte and just strangle you.
You don't know
Little Bunny I'm not doing that, YouTube. I'm not really going to do that.
You don't remember Little Bunny Foo-Foo?
Marlon, tell us.
Did they teach you about Little Bunny Foo-Foo?
I have no idea who that is.
You don't know Little Bunny Foo-Foo.
You can keep asking the question. We don't answer it. No.
See,
we only know one bunny. We only know
Little Bunny Foo-Foo is a precaution.
Bunny. That's it. That's the only rabbit we know. It's Bugs Bunny. That's it.
Let me tell you about Little Bunny Foo-Foo. All right, Little Bunny Foo-Foo. All right, I'm not gonna sing the song. I'm just gonna walk you through it. See, Little Bunny Foo-Foo was hopping through the forest, but he was a bully because he liked to scoop up the field mice and bop them on the head. But see, then there came down this good fairy, and she said, "Little Bunny Foo-Foo, I don't want to see you scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. I'm gonna give you 3 more chances, and I'm gonna turn you into a goon." And it just kind of counts down from there. It teaches you don't be a bully.
Marlon,
you can find me tomorrow on Saturday Night Lives at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Radical Truth to Power every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I had to get that in real quick before Thea thought of another corny song.
Well, what's a goon to a goblin?
You know what? We're not going to...
I love Buzz Bunny. He was the coolest.
Yeah, that's the only...
Daffy was way better. Daffy was better.
Daffy was named correctly. That was the goofiest duck.
Daffy was the best.
I don't listen. I'm sorry. I'm not going to listen to somebody I can't understand what you're saying.
That's Donald.
That's Porky.
No, Donald.
You could, Donald you could understand, but Daffy you could understand.
Daffy you could understand. He wasn't smart, but you could
understand.
Sylvester
was a problem.
If you actually go back and watch the old cartoon, so Daffy was with Buzz Bunny and them too, right? If I'm remembering correct.
Daffy is Bugs.
If you go back in time and watch old Daffy Duck cartoons, he was Bugs Bunny. He was doing the exact same thing Buzz Bunny was doing. So technically, he's like the Blanche. He's like the Blanche on 2 different shows. As older he got, the more straight man that he was. But in the early days, he was the goofy play tricks on people.
Daffy was always it was the most positive version of a black character they would let you have. So Daffy was Bugs for black people. But then they had all this other stuff going on Well, it was severely racist.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. All of it was racist at the
All of
end.
it was racist. And Theus, tell us where we can find you at because it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm
Oh,
not expecting to be this long.
I ain't
you
got to
can
go to
find
work
me
tomorrow.
in the A.
We are really gonna play games next week. I
Time
promise.
and time
we will.
again, I got to turn around and tell these. So you can find me, Complex Mind, simpleman.com. That's complex. Simpleman.com. Check me out. Holla at me.
And as usual, family,
North
I want to thank
Carolina,
you
come
for
on and
your
raise
patience
up,
as
take
I'm
your
calling
shit
this game night, but apparently we get sidetracked, but we will not get sidetracked.
North Carolina.
Come on and raise up, take your shirt off, twist it right your head, look like a helicopter, South Carolina. Come on and raise.
So what I want to do is now talk to you all and tell you where you can find me. You can find me at tracymediallc.com. Remember, new episodes are coming on next week. We've got a special Tracy's Top 5, which I will, of course, talk about tomorrow when I take on Saturday. But remember to like us, subscribe, support me on Patreon, please. We got some big things planned in May or later on, but I'll announce them in May. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you all so much and have a fantastic evening.
One. North Carolina, come on and raise up.
3, 2,